Hello dear students, today I am going to discuss with you the topic from the chapter planning, and the topic is steps of planning. This is an important topic of your business studies, and I am going to explain these steps with the help of a story. Now let us see the steps which are there in the process of planning. The first step is setting of objective. The second step is developing premises. The third step is identifying alternative course of action. The fourth step is evaluating alternative courses. The fifth step is selecting an alternative. The sixth step is implementing the plan. And the seventh step, or you can say the last step, is follow-up action. So now we are going to discuss these steps in the form of a story. So meet Mr. Lata. She is a teacher. She has joined as an English teacher in ABC Public School in Delhi. She has shifted from Punjab to Delhi, and her house currently is 17 kilometers away from school, and she wants to reach school before 7:30 a.m. She has heard of weather conditions in present month July, and she also knows that she has to finish her household chores before leaving for school, so she has to get up at 5:30 a.m. You can see there are two steps of planning which are there. If you can see this line, she wants to reach school before 7:30 a.m. So this is step number 1 of planning, that is setting objective. What is your objective? What you want to achieve? Her objective is that she has to reach school on time, that is before 7:30 a.m. If you can see this part of the story, she is aware of the weather conditions in month of July, that July month is really humid in Delhi, and she also knows that she has to finish the household chores before leaving the school, so she has to get up early. So she is making certain assumptions about future as to what will be the weather conditions and what time she needs to get ready for the school. So this is point number 2 of planning, that is developing premises. That is, you have to make certain assumptions about the future, what is going to happen during that time. So now she is saying, what are the different alternatives to commute to school? I can take a private cab, or I can go by DTC bus, that is a government bus, or I can buy a car and drive every day to school, or I can take a metro. So if you can see, there are 4 alternatives which she has thought of to commute to school. So this is step number 3 of planning, identifying alternative course of action. That is, to achieve your objectives, what are the different alternatives, ways by which you can achieve your objectives. So if you identify all those alternatives or list those alternatives, this step is called as identifying alternative course of action. So she's saying that there are so many alternatives, how she should go further. So she has to weigh the pros and cons of different alternatives. So if she takes a private cab, here pros and cons means advantages and the disadvantages. So the advantage of taking a private cab is it's very convenient. She has to just book a cab, and cab will come to her place, and she can easily read while traveling and rest during the traveling. So it is very convenient. But the disadvantage or the cons is it is costly, because cab fares are high, during peak times very high. And also sometimes it is unreliable, because the cab may not come on the designated time which it is showing, so you may get late for the school. If you come to the second alternative, that is I can go by a DTC bus. So what is the pros or advantage here is is cheaper because the fare of public bus or government bus is not very high. But the problem or the con is it's unreliable. Unreliable because the timings are not fixed. Sometimes due to traffic condition, they don't come on the designated time, and due to traffic itself, you may be stuck in a jam and you will reach the school late. Alternative number 3 is she can buy a car and drive every day. So advantage for this is it will save the time. She don't have to wait for any cab and she can drive to school. So it saves lot of time. And it's also very convenient because you can do a lot of your work while going and coming back, and you can drive at your own convenience. But the disadvantages, it is very expensive because first you need to invest in buying a car, then every day you have to spend money on petrol, and also the car requires maintenance, so it is expensive. And also there are parking problems. She knows that there is a parking problem near the school, so it will be very difficult for her to go buy a car and find a good parking place. The alternative number 4 is she can take a metro. So what is the advantage of metro? It is cheaper than buying a car, and it's reliable also because there are no chances of traffic jams and other thing, and there's a surety that you will reach your destination at a particular time. But the disadvantage is it is costly as compared to the bus fares which are there. So what we have done right now is step 4 of planning, that is evaluating alternative courses, where you see the pros and cons of all the alternatives. You see what are their advantages, what are their disadvantages, so that you can take a decision later on as to which alternative is best for you. So this step particularly relates to weighing all the alternatives, finding out their advantages and their disadvantages. So Miss Lata, she has decided that out of all the alternatives, the best alternative is taking a metro, as it is most feasible, most profitable, and it has least negative consequences. So there are advantages and disadvantages with every alternative which is there, but we'll find out the alternative which is most feasible, profitable, and which has the least negative consequences or disadvantages. So this is your step number 5, selecting an alternative. So it is very important that you select the best alternative which is there for you. So now she has decided to buy a metro card, because in order to travel by metro, she need to either buy a metro coin every day, or it is better to buy a metro card. So this is step number 6, that is implementing the plan. So only making plans is not enough. You have to put your plan into action. So if you have decided to go by metro, you have to go ahead for buying a metro card and seeing the other arrangements which are there. So putting plan to action is implementing the plan. So this is step number 6. So now after traveling, she's saying that let me see if metro is suiting me or not, and if it is not suiting me, maybe I'll shift to some other alternative. So this is your step number 7, and this is the last step, follow-up action. You have to monitor whether your plans are working or not, and if they are not working, you are going to make certain adjustment or changes. So follow-up action is basically monitoring or keeping a check on implementation of your plan, and if it is not up to you, you may decide to change or modify your plans. So this is last step, that is follow-up action. So I hope all these points are clear to you. Now I'm going to explain the same steps in relation to business. So the first step is setting objectives. For example, in case of business, your objective can be to increase the profit or to increase the sales by 10% in 6 months. The very important thing to remember here is your objectives should be specific. Like you want to increase sales by 10%, and it is also that there is some period which is attached. You want to achieve this objective in 6 months. So it is very important when you're setting objective that they should not be general, they should be specific, and they should also have some time duration in which you want to achieve those objectives. And also you can have objective for organization as a whole and also your departmental objectives. So this was step number 1. Now come to step number 2, that is developing premises. I told you developing premises is you have to make certain assumptions about future. So as a businessman, when you are planning, you have to make assumptions about what will be the government policy, what will be the demand for your product, what will be the inflation rate. So when you're making certain assumptions about future, it is called as developing premises. Now the step number 3 is identifying alternative course of action. So we know that in order to achieve our objective, there is not one way, there can be different alternatives or ways. So you have to list all those alternatives. So if you want to increase your sales or profit, your alternative can be increasing the advertising expenditure, or you may decide to launch a new product, or you may decide to increase your present production capacity. So these are the various alternatives which can be there to achieve your objectives. Step number 4 is evaluating alternative course of action. So whatever alternatives you have mentioned or identified, now you have to evaluate it by finding their pros and cons, or you can say advantages and disadvantages. Step number 5 is selecting an alternative. So after evaluating, you will select the best alternative, and I told you best alternative is which is most profitable, feasible, and which has least negative consequences. So let us say in this example, suppose you have decided that if you want to increase your sales by 10% in 6 months, you are going to increase the production capacity. So I am just taking an example that you have selected this alternative. So step number 6 will be implementing the plan. So I told you only making plan is not enough. Once you have made plan, it is very important to put your plans into action. So here what will be the action? For increasing your production, you are going to buy new machinery, you are going to hire more labor, and you are going to buy more raw material. So putting your plan into action is implementing the plan. And now the last step, step number 7, is follow-up action. So follow-up action is you have to check that is everything going according to plan or not, and you're going to monitor it, and if you feel it is not going according to your plan, you are going to make certain modifications and changes. So we have done the steps of planning. Let us see these steps one by one. Step number 1, setting your objectives. Step number 2, developing premises, that is assumptions about future. Step number 3, identifying alternative course of action. Step number 4, evaluating alternative courses by weighing their advantages and disadvantages. Step number 5 is selecting an alternative. So if you have different alternative, you are going to select the best alternative. Step number 6 is implementing the plan, that is putting your plan into action. And the last step, step number 7, is follow-up action, that is checking that is everything going according to plans or not. I hope these steps of planning are clear to you. Now let us revise the topic which we have just done. So first I am giving you a fill in the blank. The manager is required to make certain assumptions about future. These assumptions are called as Yes, the answer is premises. Ideal plan would be a plan which is most feasible, profitable, and with least negative. Yes, the answer is consequences. Now let us do true and false type questions. So the first is follow-up action steps comes before the step of implementing plan in the process of planning. So is this statement true or false? So this statement is false because follow-up action is a last step. It comes after implementing of plan and not before implementing of plan. If you can see the next one, evaluating alternative means implementing the plan which is selected. So this statement is also false because when you're evaluating alternative, you are basically seeing their advantages and disadvantages and you are not implementing. Implementing comes after the selection of plan. Now if you can see this question, you have to identify the steps in the process of planning from the following statement, and I have already listed the 7 steps. So you have to read the statement and find out which is a step applicable to the statement. So if you can see the first one, once the plans are developed, they are put into action. So which is this step in the process of planning? So this is implementing the plan, that is step number 6. All the alternative course of action to achieve objective should be identified. So this statement refers to step number 3, that is identifying alternative courses of action. Third point, to see whether plans are being implemented, activities are performed according to schedule, a proper check is required. So whenever you are keeping a check, this is follow-up action. Now let us do one case study based on steps of planning. So if you can see, this is a long case study, and what is the right way of doing the case study is that you should always read the question below it and then you should go for the reading of the case study. So if you can see the question below this case study, in context of above case, identify various steps involved in process of planning by quoting lines from the above paragraph. So we need to identify the steps and we need to quote the line which help us in finding out that particular step of planning. Now we'll read the case study. Agile Limited is a well-known automobile manufacturing company in India. The company plans to increase the sale of its sedan car by 20% in next quarter. So if you can see this line, this is step number 1 of planning, that is setting objectives. Now let us read further. In order to achieve the desired target, the marketing team of the company considers the impact of policy of government towards diesel vehicles and the level of competition in this segment of car. So here company is taking into consideration that what will be the government policy and what will be the level of competition. So this is step number 2 of planning, that is developing premises. Because premises basically means when you are taking assumptions about future, that what is going to happen, what will be the government policy, what will be the competition, inflation rate. So when you're making assumptions for future, this point is developing premises. Now let us move further. They explore various available options like offering more discount to dealers and customers, providing more customer friendly finance option, lucky draws on test drive, increasing advertising, offering more of free accessories on purchase of car, etc. So here company is exploring various alternatives or options by which they can increase the sale of their car. So this is step number 3 of planning, that is identifying alternative courses of action. A thorough analysis of various available options is done, keeping in view the relative viability of each option. So here we are weighing all the options which are there. We are seeing which one is feasible or viable option by checking there. Obviously, you will check this viability by seeing their advantages and the disadvantages. So this is step number 4 of planning, that is evaluating alternative courses. Now let us see the next line. The company decide to pursue the option of offering more discount to dealers and customers in order to boost the sale of sedan cars. So if you can see, this is selecting an alternative. Now you can see the next line. In order to implement the plan, they determine the various discount packages and communicate the same to the product dealers, and to make a prospective customer aware about the new available benefits. Advertisements are made through various sources of print and electronic media. So this is point number 6 of planning, that is implementing the plan, where you are putting your plans into action. Now if you can see the next line, the market analysis of the company keeps a close watch on the revenue from the sedan cars to study the effect of new initiatives by company to promote its sales. So this is last step of planning, follow-up action, where we are keeping a check on our plans and we are monitoring it. So you have seen, this is a way how we have to identify the lines from the case study and then decide various steps of planning. So I hope this topic is clear to everyone. I wish you all a happy learning. Bye.